Imagine stepping outside your door, reaching for a pot, and plucking a glossy, bright bell pepper. Fresh, crisp, and grown by you. No garden bed, no bending, no big backyard, just a few pots, a bit of sunshine, and care. In today's video, I'll show you exactly how to grow beautiful, productive bell peppers right in containers. It's one of my favorite plants to grow because once you get the basics right, they reward you with color, flavor, and the joy of harvest after harvest. Welcome back to Senior Green Thumbs. This is where we make gardening simple, joyful, and easy to maintain, especially for mature gardeners and beginners who want results without the strain. If you've ever struggled with peppers that refuse to grow or plants that never fruited, this video will fix that. I'll take you through everything you need to know, from choosing the right container, soil mix, and sunlight, to the best watering habits and simple tricks to keep your plants healthy all season long. By the end, you'll be confident enough to grow your own bell peppers, whether you have a balcony, patio, or even just a sunny window. Bell peppers are sunshine-loving plants. They thrive in warmth and light, but what makes them even more special is how well they adapt to container life. When you grow in containers, you control the entire environment: soil quality, sunlight, water, and pests. You can move your pots to chase the sun, bring them under shelter during storms, or indoors when the temperature dips. And here's the best part. Container-grown peppers are often healthier than those in the ground because they're less likely to face soil-borne diseases and root pests. For anyone who enjoys the comfort of tending plants from a chair, porch, or raised space, growing peppers in containers is an absolute joy. Now, timing is everything. Bell peppers love warmth. They don't tolerate frost. If you're in USDA zones 9 through 11, you're in luck. You can still start your peppers outdoors right now. Your warm weather gives you an extended growing season, and with enough sunlight, your plants can thrive well into winter. If you're in zones 5 through 8, you can keep your pepper plants growing indoors by placing them in a sunny window or under grow lights. And if you want to get a head start on next season, now's a perfect time to save seeds and prep your indoor setup. All right, let's slow down and walk through each step in detail so you can set up, plant, and care for your container peppers with confidence. I'll cover tools, exact pot sizes, soil recipe, transplanting, watering amounts, feeding schedule, pruning, and little tricks that save time and give bigger harvests. Step 1, choose the right container. Pick a container that gives roots room to spread. For one bell pepper plant, aim for a pot that is at least 12 inches, 30 centimeters deep, and 12 to 14 inches, 30 to 36 centimeters wide. If you want an easier to water option, use a 5-gallon, approximately 19 liters, bucket or fabric grow bag, around 10 to 15 gallons, 38 to 57 liters, for a very vigorous variety or for two small plants. Make sure there are drainage holes. Standing water is the #1 cause of failure. If your pot has no holes, drill 3 or 4 in the bottom. If using clay pots, remember they dry faster than plastic, so you'll water more often. Step 2, prepare the soil mix. Good soil is half the harvest. Here's a dependable, simple mix for pots. 2 parts quality potting soil, not garden soil, holds nutrients and structure. 1 part compost or well-rotted manure adds slow-release food and beneficial microbes. 1/2 part perlite or coarse sand improves drainage and aeration. If you prefer exact measures for a single 5-gallon pot, use about 10 to 12 cups potting soil, 5 cups compost, and 1 to 2 cups perlite. Mix thoroughly. Add a tablespoon of bone meal or a handful of slow-release granular fertilizer to the bottom of the pot for an early nutrient boost. Troubleshooting tip: if your mix compacts easily, add a bit more perlite or an inch of coarse sand to keep it fluffy. Step 3, seed starting versus transplants. You can start from seed or buy healthy transplants. If starting seeds, sow 1/4 inch, 6 millimeters deep, 2 seeds per small starter pot. Keep them warm, 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, and moist. Cover with a clear lid or plastic wrap to hold humidity until they sprout in 7 to 14 days. When seedlings have 2 to 3 true leaves, Pot them up into a 4 to 6-inch pot to grow stronger before the final container. If using nursery transplants, look for stocky plants with no yellowing and a healthy root ball. Avoid root-bound plants with circling roots. Step 4. Transplanting into final container. Wait to transplant outside or to the final pot until nighttime temps stay above 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius. When you're ready, 1. Fill the bottom third of your pot with the prepared mix. 2. Make a hole large enough for the root ball. 3. Set the seedling or young transplant slightly deeper than it sat in the nursery pot. Bury down to the first set of true leaves to encourage additional root formation along the stem. 4. Backfill gently and press lightly to remove big air pockets. 5. Water thoroughly until water runs from the drainage holes. If transplanting more than one into a large container, space plants at least 18 to 24 inches, 45 to 60 centimeters, apart to avoid crowding. Troubleshooting tip. If leaves wilt after transplanting, place the plant in partial shade for 24 to 48 hours and keep soil evenly moist to reduce shock. Step 5. Light and placement. Peppers need 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day. A south or west-facing patio or balcony is ideal. If you have less light, supplement with a grow light. Set the light about 12 to 18 inches above the plants and run it 12 to 14 hours daily during early growth. Step 6. Watering. How often and how much? Watering is where many people go wrong. The rule is deep, infrequent watering rather than light misting every hour. For a 5-gallon pot, water until you see a slow stream come out the drainage holes. That usually means about 1 to 1.5 liters, roughly 1 to 1.5 quarts, per watering, depending on pot size and heat. Check the top inch of soil. If it's dry, it's time to water. In hot weather, you may be watering daily. In cooler weather, every 2 to 4 days. If you use fabric pots, expect to water more frequently because they aerate faster. Troubleshooting tip. If leaves curl and the plant looks stressed, check both soil moisture and temperature. Curling can be from overwatering, underwatering, or heat stress. Use a moisture meter if you're unsure. Step 7. Mulch and temperature control. After your plants are established, add a 1 to 2 inch mulch layer, straw, shredded bark, or compost on top of the soil. Mulch helps retain moisture, moderates soil temperature, and suppresses weeds. In spring or fall, move pots to a protected spot on cold nights or wrap pots with insulating fabric if frost threatens. Step 8. Feeding and fertilizer schedule. Peppers are moderate feeders. Use a balanced fertilizer such as a 5-10, 10, or 10-10-10 NPK at half strength every 2 weeks once flowering begins. Liquid seaweed or fish emulsion is a nice gentle feed every 3 to 4 weeks. A practical schedule. At planting, 1 handful slow-release granular fertilizer mixed into the soil. When plants set flowers, start a bi-weekly liquid feed. During heavy fruiting, keep feedings regular, but don't overdo nitrogen. Too much nitrogen equals lots of leaves and fewer fruits. Troubleshooting tip. If plants have lush foliage but few flowers, reduce nitrogen and increase potassium, bloom and fruit booster, to encourage fruit set. Step 9. Pruning, staking, and training. For larger varieties, add a small stake or tomato cage at planting time so you don't disturb roots later. Pinch off the first 2 to 3 flower clusters on very young plants to let the plant put energy into roots and stems. This often yields a larger harvest later. Light pruning to remove leggy or crossing branches improves airflow and reduces disease risk. When harvesting heavy peppers, support the branch with a soft tie to prevent breakage on. Step 10. Pollination, pests, and diseases. Most pepper varieties are self-pollinating. Bees and wind help outdoors. Indoors, gently shake plants or use a soft paintbrush to move pollen between flowers. Pests to watch for: aphids, spider mites, whiteflies. Inspect leaves weekly, especially the undersides. For small outbreaks, spray with insecticidal soap or neem oil in the evening and repeat every 7 to 10 days until controlled. Disease prevention. Avoid overhead watering, keep good spacing for airflow, and remove diseased leaves promptly. If you see blossom and rot, a sunken dark spot on the fruit, it's usually a calcium uptake issue. Keep soil moisture steady and add a calcium source like crushed eggshells or a foliar calcium spray. Step 11. Harvesting and succession planting. Harvest when peppers are full size and firm. Cutting with scissors prevents stem damage. For continual production, remove spent blossoms and keep feeding lightly. In warm zones, consider succession planting every 6 to 8 weeks early in the season for continuous harvest. Quick weekly care checklist. Each week, check soil moisture, scan for pests, feed if flowering heavily, remove any dead leaves, and rotate pots so all sides get equal sun. All right, before we wrap up, let's talk about some of the most common mistakes gardeners make when growing bell peppers in containers and how to avoid them. I've made a few of these myself, so don't worry. Every mistake just teaches you to be a better gardener. Let's save you from the frustration I had in my first year growing peppers. Overwatering, yellowing leaves are the first sign your roots are drowning. Crowding. Give each pepper its own pot. When too close, they compete for nutrients and sunlight. Ignoring pests, aphids, spider mites, and whiteflies love pepper leaves. Inspect your plants weekly, especially the undersides. A spray of neem oil or soapy water will keep them under control. And one more. Don't forget to prune off the first few flowers if your plant is still small. That allows the plant to focus on growing stronger before producing fruit. Growing bell peppers in containers is one of the easiest ways to enjoy homegrown produce without needing a big garden. With the right pot, a sunny corner, and consistent care, you can have a colorful harvest right at your doorstep. If you enjoyed this guide, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss more simple, senior-friendly gardening tips. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments what color peppers you plan to grow this season. Until next time, keep your hands in the soil and your heart in the garden.